All right. Thank you, Jesus. Here we go up the mountain. There's a very important principle that's a fine line in our leadership between leading and managing, or should we say empowering the people that you lead as opposed to driving them or pushing them. And that fine line really is the line between whether things succeed or whether they don't succeed. In Exodus chapter 18, when Moses was coming out of the wilderness, okay, here we go. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับผม
จะไปไหนครับ
จะขึ้นไปฐานกาแฟถ่ายรูป
อ๋อ อันนี้มาจากไหนครับ
ก็อยู่ชลบุรีอยู่ศรีราชานะปกติครับ ทำงานที่นั่น
พาสปอร์ตมาตัวเนาะ
ครับได้ครับ
ไม่เป็นไรครับไม่เป็นไร
โอเค
ขอบคุณมากครับ
ครับขอบคุณครับ So Exodus chapter 18 is, sometimes we call it the Exodus 18 principle, but actually there's the two principles, both of them are found in there. The leadership and the management. And it's the difference between empowering or discouraging. And so when Moses obviously is an amazing leader to bring these people from Egypt right out into, they're coming into the promised land or out of the wilderness at this point. And Jethro notices that Moses is burning himself out. He's got the people lined up all day, kind of like Thai immigration. And Jethro basically tells Moses two things. First of all, it's right that you lead the people. He said, you need to seek God and have the answers from God. I mean, that's what a leader does. He gets the direction, the sense of vision, but then the distribution of that answer has to be fixed, okay? So the leadership part is seeking God and having the vision, and he tells them that. He says, you need to seek God, and you need to show them the work they must do and all that kind of stuff. You need to lead. But then the next thing is management, and he says it like this. He says, moreover, you need to choose men who are full of integrity, and they can lead thousands and hundreds and fifties and tens. And what he meant by that is, here's how you manage the thing that you're leading. That's why Jethro says, moreover, in other words, and one more thing, or this is something a little bit different. This is not leadership. This is how to manage the thing. So there's a leadership principle there, plus a management principle. But don't get the management principle mixed up with the leadership principle and think that because you're managing, according to dividing this hierarchy up, that you're leading, because that's not
Turn
leadership.
Right. Then the destination is on your right.
Okay, so there's both of those things. Leadership inspires people to work with the team, be part of the team, and to exercise and use their gifts and their talents. Now, Exodus 17 is a leadership principle. And it's that great story where Moses is leading the people up out of Egypt. They've crossed the Red Sea, coming out of the wilderness now. They've seen many miracles. They've been together decades, Joshua and Moses and these guys, Aaron and Hur. They get to this place where Amalek, that wicked guy, is starting to attack them from behind. And Moses says to Joshua, choose us some people. Very important wording there. Choose us some people and go and fight with Amalek. And Moses said, I'll go up on the hill with the rod of God in my hand and be the overseeing authority or the vision or the guy that's carrying the fathership for this thing. Joshua then goes and chooses the men that he wants to help him fight this battle. Now, these guys have never been soldiers before. They've never had a battle before. So this is very important that Joshua chooses the right guys. But notice this. Choose us, Moses said. Moses didn't say, I want you to take so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. He said, I want you to choose who you want to have go with you. And then go and fight with Amalek. In other words, the details are all yours, man. My instructions to you is go and beat this guy. And so Moses says, choose us. So the people that Joshua is choosing, he's choosing for us, not for himself. Because if you let Moses do the choosing, you're not leading, you're managing. And you will disenfranchise or you will discourage the leadership in a guy like Joshua. Because it's so easy for us to slip into a position of management and think that we're leading. You know, if you've got a Sunday school superintendent or leader of your Sunday school department and you say, now I want you to use this teacher and this teacher and this teacher and here's the way I want Sunday school to run. You're no longer leading, you're managing. And the Sunday school teacher is going to do it until she's tired of it or he's tired of it, and then they're just going to hand it to somebody else. They're not going to do it with drive and passion and vision. because they're not using their leadership gift. You're taking care of all of that part and you're managing them so that the end result is what you want. You got to be able to see this for yourself in your own life. Am I managing or am I leading? You tell the worship leader, now this is who I want on your team. Now you're managing. You're not leading. And the worship leader will be discouraged and feel like they don't have a place of leadership. All they have is a place of serving. And you tell them what songs to sing. There's times when I've said to the worship leader, you know, I got a certain message that I have on my heart and I'll request a song. I want you to do this song for me. Can you do that? It's a request, you know, and you will always get yes. Because they're there to serve the vision. They really are. But there's a difference between telling the worship leader that this is the song list for Sunday and could you sing this song for me because I really think it'll fit with the message. And the difference is the leader will rise to it or he will be like succumb to it. I don't know if I can overstate the importance of this. If you're telling them what to do and who to do it with, you've defaulted to management and you might get what you want, but you won't be leading. Remember, releasing is one of the great keys, and it's not only releasing people to go somewhere else, but it's releasing them to do what they need to do in our midst, right? Under our leadership, in the same team. I'm all ears, you know, around the ministry and travel. Right now we're up in Maasai with Chris and Tab and Ewan and Dow, and I'm going to share in their church a little later. Just looking forward to meeting the people because Chris and Tab are doing an amazing job, some amazing opportunities out in front of them. This is a very unique church, right? And where you are and what you're doing is very unique, and the people that are around you and the people that God has given you are very unique. So there's no system of management that you can put in place that's going to make this thing work. But leadership, yes. You've got to look at what God's given you and you've got to be able to form your future around leadership, leading these people, not managing them. But like I say, with ears to the ground to hear what's going on, because I found as a leader, one of the things that I lack most is feedback from the immediate level of people that I lead. They don't tell you. They just won't tell you, okay? So it takes a lot of self-awareness on our part, leaders. Ears to the ground, though, I can hear things that are challenges or disappointments even in some of the next generation of leaders because they're being told what to do, they're being told how to do it, they're being told who to do it with. And so there's no room for them to develop their leadership. So the question is like, how do we get people to follow? How do we get people to do what we need them to do? Become really self-aware and ask yourself about each area of ministry. The children's ministry, you've got the small group ministry, you've got the worship ministry. And how are you doing it? Are you leading it in the sense that you're actually empowering others to do the leading in that area? Or are you managing it because you want this and this and this and this? The difference is Moses didn't have to tell Joshua what to do. He didn't have to tell Joshua who to choose because Moses had instilled or imparted or fathered a culture and core values into Joshua's life over all these past years, several decades. That this is the way we do things, this is what we believe because this is where we're going, this is who God has called us to be. So now when it's time for Joshua to lead, he can lead out of those core values and out of that culture that Moses had built in his life. So the key to getting what we want to happen is not to manage and tell people how to do it, who to do it with, and what to do, but to build the culture or the core values on the inside of their lives over time, and that has to happen through relationship. That's why we lead through relationship, not through control. You're going to have to lead it as a father, right? As a mother, as somebody who really cares and loves these people and wants to see them do their best. And so when you get that culture on the inside, now you can turn Joshua loose to choose his own guys, pick his own song list, pick his own message, and you'll get the right results. Why? Because of what Joshua believes, not because of what he's told to do. Management is important and you need it in certain areas, but when it comes to developing leaders, you're not going to develop them through management. Yeah, we know that, don't we? We talk about how important the culture is. Culture trumps vision. The difference between management and leadership. And we see it in Exodus 17 and 18 so clearly. And we see it in your life. But you know who sees it more clearly than anyone else? The people that you're leading. And leadership will inspire them, empower them, motivate them, envision them, and excite them. And that's why people will do things that just absolutely amaze you. But we're going to have to let the leaders that we lead do the leading in the areas that they need to lead. Otherwise, you discourage them, you disenfranchise them, you disappoint them, and they will eventually go frustrated somewhere else. So let's be leaders. And I think err on the side of relying too much on culture, on core values, casting vision, rather than on micromanagement. Nobody wants to be managed. Just ask them.